Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. It is Friday, July the 11th, so TGIF for all those winding down their respective work weeks. Hopefully, the weekend will be good for you. We, of course, have quite a treat in store this weekend. Today, we've got this exceptional female card headlined by Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 3. And then tomorrow, we get to see Shakur Stevenson, Hamza Shiraz, etc., etc. So, as boxing fans, we should be quite satisfied, I figure, this weekend. And then, of course, next week is Fight Week for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Now, unless you're visiting this channel for the very first time, you will know that I am Team Usyk and that I've struggled to sort of get behind and be very supportive of Daniel Dubois. I will say this is not because of anything that I don't like about Daniel Dubois. It's mostly because I find his team, headed by Don Charles, to be really annoying, and we'll leave it at that. But today, I want to speak in defense of Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is, probably without a doubt, heading into the biggest fight of his life. Bigger than the fight against AJ and bigger than his previous fight against Alexander Usyk. Let me explain. When he first fought Alexander Usyk, he probably wasn't really ready. You know, he was younger, less experienced. Of course, fighting against AJ was a very, very big deal in Wembley Stadium, and he got through that with flying colours. But this is for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. The eyes of the entire boxing community are going to be on him. And because I don't live in England, I can't say this with any degree of authority, but I would expect that there's a lot of patriotic feeling in support of Daniel Dubois. Which leads me to my point. During the build-up, where the whole country, I guess, ideally would be sort of behind their guy, although I recognize that there's a lot of Usyk supporters in the UK, we have the spectacle, that's the right word, the spectacle of another legendary British heavyweight essentially speaking in a way that was less than supportive of Daniel Dubois. And that is the retired or possibly unretired or heavens knows what, Tyson Fury, who comes out at a time when Daniel Dubois should be laser focused on Alexander Usyk. 27 years old, at the peak of his physical prowess, fine-tuned, physically and ideally mentally, ready for the biggest challenge of his life. Tyson Fury says, with respect to Daniel Dubois, that if he came out of retirement and they were to fight, he would box that mother effer's ears off. He wouldn't land a glove on me. It would be a one-sided beat down. Now, I mean, that's his opinion, right? And he's entitled to his opinion. But you would think, out of maybe a modicum of decency and support, that he would have just decided maybe this isn't the right week for me to run my mouth about this. Just, you know, if you haven't got anything nice to say nothing, right? Because really and truly, what are you doing here? You're not fighting Daniel Dubois. You're just, you know, fantasy fight sort of thinking. I don't know. You would think that you would have said nothing other than being very supportive for your fellow countryman. But I guess that was too much to ask. My point is, okay, you would box his ears off. He wouldn't land a glove on me. Daniel Dubois, like him or not, is light years superior to Francis Ngannou in the ring. In the boxing ring, I mean. He probably hits equally hard, if not harder than Francis Ngannou, and he knows how to box. He's a very skilled and trained boxer. Now, why am I raising Francis Ngannou? Well, Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury fought, and in the eyes of at least a significant number, Francis Ngannou did enough to win. He certainly managed to clip Tyson Fury and put him on his bum. Now, if that had been Daniel Dubois, I suspect that it would have been even more of a beating, quite frankly. So if Francis Ngannou can land a glove on Tyson Fury, if Otto Wallin can land a glove on Tyson Fury, I'm thinking that Daniel Dubois can land a glove, and a very heavy glove, on Tyson Fury. So I think that if they were to fight, I would expect Daniel Dubois to give Tyson Fury a very hard night. But of course, Tyson Fury also knows this. Tyson Fury is never going to step in the ring with Daniel Dubois. He's not going to step in the ring with Anthony Joshua because he's frightened of getting hurt, quite frankly, or losing. Well, if he's frightened of Anthony Joshua, he sure ain't getting in the ring with the guy who made Anthony Joshua look very fragile. So, from a non-Daniel Dubois fan, I'm going to say that if in this, weird world that that we live in, if Tyson Fury was ever to get into the ring with Daniel Dubois, I would be Team Dubois and I'd be cheering him on. As for this fight that he's got on the 19th, well, I'm still Team Usyk, but I am not thinking this is going to be like the first fight. So, but that's a story for another day. It'll be in the next few days. I'll finally put my money where my mouth is and make a commitment as to who I think is going to win. But for the moment, I really think that Tyson Fury should maybe take a back seat and let other boxers have the limelight for the next week or so. That's this guy's opinion. Your mileage may vary. Anyways, thanks for watching. Really appreciate your time. If you like, please share. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I really would be happy if you did. Thank you very much. Most importantly, wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous day. Enjoy the weekend's boxing. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.